Hello and welcome to this Excel tips video. I am Sumit Bansal, and in this video I am going to show you how to separate text and numbers that are in a cell in Excel. So here I have these employee IDs, and what I want to do is get all the employee department codes, that's the text part, in column B and the employee number in column C. So in this video I'm going to show you 4 different ways to do this. So let's get started. The first method that I want to show you to split text and numbers is by using flash fill. Flash fill is a feature that was introduced in Excel 2013, and what it does is it identifies the pattern while you are entering the data. So in this case, let me show you how it works. I have these employee IDs and I want the employee department code in column B. So I'm going to first enter the result I expect in cell B2. So I would enter MKT. Now I would go to the next cell, and while I'm typing, see what happens. So I expect FIN in cell B3. So while I'm typing, you would see that I see these gray results, and this is flash fill at work. So flash fill is showing me the expected results that it can fill in the entire column. So what I can do at this point in time is I can simply hit enter, and I would get all these results filled in the column instantly. See what happens as soon as I hit enter, it is going to fill all these text values, these department codes in column B. You can see that this is the right result and flash fill has identified the pattern correctly. Similarly, if I come here in column C and I want all the employee numbers, I can enter the number in first cell, which is C2, and then I go to the next cell, and while I'm typing, see what happens. While I'm typing, I would again see those gray results, and I can simply hit enter and it is going to give me all the results. Another way you can do this is, let me delete all this. And I have entered the first expected result here in cell B2. Now, in case while you're typing and you do not see those gray results, because it sometimes happens that flash fill automatic results do not show up, then in that case, enter the result that you expect in one cell or two cells, select the entire column where you want to get the result, and then hold the control key and press the E key. And this is the keyboard shortcut for flash fill. And when I do that, it is going to identify the pattern based on what I had already entered in cell B2 and give me the result. In case you have a large data set and there is a possibility that flash fill may not be able to identify the pattern just with one single cell, in that case, you can enter the result in two cells and then select the entire column and hold the control key and press the E key. You also get the same thing if you go to the home tab, and here in the editing group within fill, you have this option flash fill. So you can either use the keyboard shortcut or you can use this option here in the ribbon. Similarly, in employee number, I can enter the first employee number, select the entire column, and then control E. It will give me the employee number for the entire column. Now, one very important thing you need to know about flash fill is that it works on a best effort basis. So it is going to try its best to identify the pattern, but there are some cases where it may identify the wrong pattern or it may not be able to identify the pattern. So in case of simple data such as this one, you can easily use flash fill. But if you're using it with a large data set or data set where the variation is a lot in your original data, then it is a good idea to use flash fill, but make sure you quickly check whether the result is right or not. In most cases, flash fill is going to work just fine, but in some cases, there is a possibility that it may not give you the right result. Now let me show you how to use a simple formula to extract the text part and the number part from a cell in Excel. So here I'm going to try and identify where is the position of the number, the first digit in this cell. And if I can identify that the digit, the number, start from the fourth position, then I can easily extract everything before it. So it would give me the text part, and I can extract everything starting from that number. So it would give me the number part. So what I need to do is use a formula that can somehow tell me that the numbers, the digits in a cell starts from this position. So I'm going to use the find function, and within find function, it takes two arguments. The first one is what you want to find. So in this case, I want to find any number that is in this cell. So what I'm going to do is within curly brackets, I'm going to enter all the digits, all the 10 digits. So 0, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and I'm going to close the curly bracket. And then I am going to say, I need to find these digits in this text. Now what happens in this case is if I simply use one digit in the find what argument, the first argument, it only finds that specific text or that specific number. But in this case, I have these 10 digits in curly brackets. So each of these would be used and a position would be return for each of these digits. So in this case, if I simply select this formula and I hit F9, then it shows me the result of that part of the formula. And you can see it is giving me 10 different values. When it can find the digit, which is 0 in this case and 1 in this case and 2 in this case, then it is going to give me the position of that number. And if it cannot find that digit in the cell, then it is going to return a value error. So you can see it cannot find 0, so it gave me a value error, but it did find 1, and that was in the 4th position. So it gave me the position of that digit. Then it did not find 2, 3, and 4, but it did find 5 in the 6th position. So it is going to give me the positions of all the digits it could find. Let me press Ctrl Z to go back. Now I'm going to add an if error part here because I do not want the value error in the formula. I want it to either give me a number or give me a blank. So I'm going to use if error. And here I would say this is the result, but in case there is an error, give me a blank. Now, if I select this entire thing and hit F9, you can see it either gives me a blank if it cannot find that digit, and if it finds that digit, it gives me the position of that digit. So let me press Ctrl Z to go back. Now I'm going to use the min function to find the minimum position value. So what it does is it gives me the position where the numbers start. It could be any digit, but the starting position is returned with this formula. I can use this for the entire column. Now, when I have this value, this starting position number, I can now use this with some formulas to extract everything to the left of it or everything starting from that to the right. So here I'm going to use the left formula because I want to extract all the employee department codes. So I'm going to use the left formula and I would say from this text, extract these many characters, but I don't want 4 characters. I want 3 characters because I don't want the digit. So I'm going to subtract 1 from this. And now when I hit enter, it gives me the department code and I can apply it for the entire column. Similarly, let me copy this part and put it here. So I would again have the same formula that gives me the position of the first digit in this cell. And I'm going to extract everything starting from that position to the right. So I'm going to use the mid function where I would say this is the text from where I need to extract the content, extract the numbers. The starting position would be 4 where the number starts, the digit starts, and I want to, how many number of characters do I need to extract? Now there are varying numbers. So here I have 3 digits, here I have 2 digits. But the good thing is I do not need to worry about it because I need to extract everything to the right. So I can actually enter something, a large number, and it would extract 100 characters, but because there are no 100 characters, it would only extract 3 here and 2 here and 3 here. So now when I hit enter, it gives me the employee number. So this is how you can use a simple find formula and extract the text portion and the number portion of a cell in Excel. You can also create a custom function in VBA and then use that function to extract the text part or the number part from a cell in Excel. Now this is useful in case you need to do this quite often. So you can have this code in place, and once the function is created, you can use it just like any other worksheet function in Excel. You can also save this code in your personal macro workbook so that it's available to all the workbooks in your system. So let me show you how it works. First, I'm going to open the VB editor, and in the VB editor, I'm going to copy and paste this VBA code. So I would explain this code and I would also have this code in the description so you can copy and use it. Now, I would first go to the developer tab here. Now, if you do not see the developer tab, right click on any of these tabs, click on customize the ribbon, and in the Excel options dialog box that opens up, make sure that this option, the developer option, is checked. And then when you click OK, you would see the developer tab. Here, click on the developer tab and then click on Visual Basic. And when you do that, it opens the VB editor. Now in the VB editor on the left side, you see something called as Project Explorer. This is where it shows you all the objects of all the open workbooks. So as of now, I have just one single workbook open, and within that workbook, I have all these sheets. Now here, I'm going to select any of these objects, go to the insert option and then click on module. And when I do that, it is going to insert a new module. And this is where I'm going to copy and paste my code. Now, in case you do not see the Project Explorer, you can go to the view option here and then make sure that you click on Project Explorer, or you can use the keyboard shortcut Control R. Now, when I have the module inserted, I would double click on this module. It opens the code window for this module. And now I'm going to copy and paste these codes. So let me copy this code here and paste it here. Now let me quickly explain what this does. I am creating a function. So I'm creating 2 functions. One is called GetNumber, which would give me the numbers, and the other one is GetText. Now, what this function does is it takes one single argument, which would be a cell reference, and then it goes through each character in the cell. So in this case, it is going to go through all these characters, and then it would identify whether it is a number or it is a string. So in this case, in GetNumber, it is going to use this for loop where it is going to go through each of these characters and check whether it is a number or not. And in case it is a number, then it would extract it and add it as part of the result. And if it is not a number, it would be ignored. And the opposite happens when you're using the getText function. It is going to go through each of these digits and it would analyze whether it is a number or not. If it is not a number, so you can see I've used not IsNumeric. So if it is not a number, then it would be considered a part of the result. But if it is a number, then it would be ignored. Now, let me close this and I would come here and I need to remember the name of the function. So in this case, the name was getText. And while you are typing, you would also see these functions show up in the IntelliSense. So here I'm going to select GetText because I want the department code, and I would take this cell reference and that's it. It would give me the result and I can apply it for the entire column. And when I need the number, I would use GetNumber and use this cell reference and it instantly gives me the result. Now you can use the formula I covered earlier where I had find and that entire big formula. But if this is something you need to do quite often, it would save you time if you create this VBA code, put it in your workbook so that instead of using that long formula, you can simply use this very short formula that instantly gives you the text portion or the number portion from a cell. And the final method that I want to show you to separate text and numbers in a cell in Excel is by using Power Query. Now this method is useful if you're already using Power Query and you have to split the text and number portion as part of your workflow, or if this is something that you need to do quite often, maybe on a daily basis or a weekly basis. So you can use Power Query, run that query once, create everything, and once it is created, you do not need to repeat the process. You can simply refresh the query, and whenever you have new data, it would instantly be split into the text portion and the number portion. So let me show you how it works. Here I have the same data. Now, when you're working with Power Query, it is a good idea to convert your data into an Excel table. So what I'm going to do is first convert this into an Excel table. So to do that, I would select this entire column of any cell in this data set, hold the control key and press the T key. So it's control T to create a table, or you can go to the insert option here and then click on table. So this opens the create table dialog box, and make sure you select my table has headers in case your table has headers. So in this case I do, so I'm going to select this option or keep this selected and then click OK. And when I do that, the table has been created. Sometimes I don't know why it happens that the header color changes automatically. So let me change this back to black. Now, once a table is created, I can now use Power Query to get all this data into the Power Query editor, and then I'm going to split the text and numbers in the Power Query editor. So to do that, I'm going to go to the data option here, and here within Get and Transform, I would click on From Selection. So when I click on From Selection, it is going to pick this table and it is going to take this table into the Power Query editor. So this is the query editor that has been opened. Now, within this query editor, I'm going to split this column. So what I'm going to do is select this entire column or the header. Then I would go to this option called split column. And here, when I click on it, it shows me all these different options. And you can see here, I have this option by digit to non-digit or by non-digit to digit. What this means is by non-digit to digit means wherever there is a change where the data changes from a non-digit or a non-number to a number, it is going to split there. So it is going to give me MKT as one and 175 as the other. So what I'm going to do here is go to split column and then click on this option. And when I do that, it instantly splits my data so that I get the employee department code in one column and employee numbers in the other column. And I can come here and I can change the column name. So maybe I can call this department code and employee number. Now, once this is done, I would go to this close and load option in the ribbon and click on it. And when I do that, a new sheet is inserted in the same workbook and I get my result here. Now, the good thing about Power Query is that in case your data changes, your original data changes, or you get, let's say, a new data, that instead of connecting it to this table, you can connect it to some other table. You can also connect it to some other file. but this result here is going to remain as is. And whenever your source data changes, let's say whenever you connect it to a table that has changed, it could be a table in this workbook, it could be a table in some other folder, some other file, some other database, all you have to do is right click and refresh this query. So let me show you how it works. I would come here. So this is my original data, and let me make a couple of changes. Let me randomly change this to, let's say, HR. Come here, maybe make this ops. So I've changed a couple of things here. Now, when I come back to my Power Query result, I do not need to do the same process, opening Power Query editor, splitting the data there. I don't need to do this. My query is already created. My query already knows what the steps are. So I would simply come here, right click, and then click on refresh. And as soon as I do that, my data instantly updates. So if this is something that you need to do quite often, where you have a source data where you can connect your Power Query, then this is a really, really quick and easy way to keep on doing it again and again as a part of your workflow. So these are 4 different methods that you can use to quickly separate text and numbers in a cell in Excel. I hope you found this video useful. Also, if you're liking these videos, please subscribe to this YouTube channel and click on the bell icon so that you never miss out on any new Excel tips video I come up with. Thank you and have a nice day.